There. Now we're recording. Yes, so you want to eliminate anything, like we all know, I think most of us know what EMFs are. And we certainly don't want EMFs or cell phone radiation, things like that, on what we're trying to make ourselves healthier with. So you erase those not so healthy frequencies, and then you're ready to what's called imprint it. So if you're going to imprint it, you just hit this. You would put, not on the computer because it would fall off, but on the device, you would just put whatever it is you're imprinting right here, hit the imprint button. And it varies how long it imprints for. It can be from few seconds to maybe 30 seconds, depending on what it is. It's really helpful. So you can imprint it, or you can, this bar is in the way everywhere. You can do continuous broadcast, or you can do a 2-minute broadcast. And what that 2-minute broadcast means is it's actually just emitting that frequency into the air, much like a radio. If you played a radio station and you're hearing the music, it's the music frequency that's emitting into the air. And we all know that when we turn on a radio station, we don't have that radio station sitting right there, by us in the living room. It's coming from afar. So that's how this works. When we actually emit or broadcast this frequency, I don't even know what the limitations are and how far it can go, but it can be projected, afar. And it seems funny to think that it actually could be effective, but if you think of it like that radio station, it can. And I think so many of us have had stories of doing what we call remote type things and I think my best one was my girlfriend that was in the hospital, and she said she was doing better, but she just hadn't had a bowel movement in days and days. And I couldn't believe they hadn't done anything in the hospital. But they hadn't. And so I did a little constipation playlist, and in under an hour, I was in Sholo. She was here. And in under an hour, she let me know that she had success for the first time in days. Wow. So, Mom and I have been in this world, and you too, Rita, for a long time. And I think we all have been in the same boat where we had to test it ourselves to even believe it, because it seems so unreal. And yet the more you do and the more success stories you have, that's when you start really learning the power of it. And it's not really that much different than the power of prayer. All of us sitting here believe in the power of prayer, and we don't think about that having limitation at all. So this works very much in the same way. There's just not that limitation, and it's all God created. So I think it makes it a wonderful thing. So these, how many of you have played around with these new areas that you can scan? So the next one.
I want to ask you why that is different.
Because it's just wider. It's just
I
computer.
don't have the same format.
See what you got. Yeah. Oh. Custom playlist, quantum reach.
Are you?
Now, as soon as I
Is he looking at the main menu? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same.
Well, as soon as I clicked on like imprint, you had a different format up there than I did.
Oh, well,
Maybe
maybe.
the one she was in.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't-
See, that's
I didn't
where
press
I'm
the
at.
button.
Right.
It's the one we happen to be in.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and hit scan and see what it brings up for you. And it's just going to look like a different.
Which one is this in?
It's just going to look different.
Hit her scan button.
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Where's the scan button?
So when you go ahead.
Okay. So, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ryan, I can't. Oh, your mic is off. But if you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, on the bottom.
Oh,
Can you hear me if I talk now?
I can barely hear you.
Go to-
barely hear me. Okay, I don't even know where my speaker is at. Oh, well. Okay,
Yeah, and I've got mine turned up full blast.
So it's after
Yeah.
that.
If
Look
I
at your
could
F1,
type, do we
F2
have a-
buttons.
all right. If we could type something, I could type my questions.
Do you have on your
Chat.
computer like F, are you on your phone?
I can do a chat. I'm on my computer, but I can just type my questions. Can you see the
Yeah, you can
chat?
do a chat. That'd be good.
Okay, all right.
She might be able to help you out.
Tranquility.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
I don't know
She's
if it
not
will, but I
going
might
to.
be
We might have somebody that can help us. I love having younger.
I know, is it better?
Sorry.
If I had 2 minutes on mine, conflict with hers.
No,
You just need your tools.
it's just like a cell phone. It's on its own person. Its own electrical instrument.
Here are your tools.
Because it is same
Or
price
you
as
can
cell
go in
phone.
here into.
It's on a number in Siberia. As long as you've got the
Oh,
right
here's my
number dialed
settings.
in, you'll reach who you want in Siberia, and it's worth the same. You've got information in there on only that pertains to them.
Only pertains to what?
To the person you're running.
So because my name's at the top, there, I can change. it.
Okay, try it now, Rand, to talk to me.
Okay, how's it sound now?
She did it.
You
Or
can-
was that you or us?
I didn't, well, I haven't really done anything here.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Yay,
Yay, okay.
we're good.
You gotta pick on those younger generations.
Yes.
I know. That's exactly why they're a blessing. You still see the device now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yay. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Is everybody on task then with being able to get into, let's say, quantum reach and do a scan?
What about continuous broadcast?
So that's exactly what that means. It means it's just going to keep going and going until you stop it. So you would do that. When I do that is if somebody's really sick, you know, and I want to keep it running, or when I built the playlist for Bob to stop snoring, you know, I would run it all night long, and if it would stop, he would start snoring again.
So if I'm at work and I have my phone in my back pocket, which I know you're not supposed to carry it there, but some cookies. I could put it on continuous broadcast.
Yes.
You could even leave it home on Windows
Mhm.
broadcast.
So you don't have to physically have it.
Okay,
I like it with me in case I want to change it.
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can keep it wherever you're at and continuous.
What would that do if you have it on continuous broadcast?
It just doesn't, the frequency just doesn't stop. You either have it as a 2-minute broadcast or continuous, and you are emitting that just like it's an ongoing radio station until you turn it off.
So whatever it says up there, like coordination,
Mm-hmm.
I would just be continuously putting
Continuous.
coordination.
Right, and there's different schools of thought on that. You know, there are people that believe you don't need more than the 2 minutes, you know, because your body won't assimilate any more than that, or but there's times they really do think you need the continuous, and we've even heard Lauren's the one that created this and CEO of the company, and you know, he talked about when his wife
Right,
was injured in Germany, was it?
right. I think it was Germany.
Yeah.
They were out on a trip and wife got injured. She had, wasn't a sprained ankle, I
Mhm.
think. And then he was running it, but then the next day they didn't do it as much. And then she had swelling the next day. That wasn't there before. And so they stopped it for a time. But
Right.
then they thought, oh, we better get back to it. And
Right.
they started running it again.
So I think there are times that definitely the continuous is really imperative, but then I think there are times that it's probably overdrive. You know, and some of the other things that I think the frequency relies on is how hydrated are we? You know, we're conductors of electricity. If we're not mineralized the way we need to be, and we're not hydrated the way we need to be, it might be actually harder for our cells to take that up and assimilate it. So they may, you know, just be sitting there so tired and sluggish because they don't have what they need to be healthy cells, but they're not even utilizing or able to utilize the frequency. So one of the products this is from the company that we use. It's called X, Solex Gold. And it's fulvic and fumaric acid, right? But it's got a lot of micro and macro minerals in it. And if I have time, I'll either find a video or send it out to everybody where they actually do an experiment with this, lighting up a light bulb. And they used 2 different companies. And the one company they used, it didn't do anything for lighting up the light bulb. And then this just lit it right up. So if we're not putting in our bodies what we need to put in it, we may not even get the benefits that we need. And I believe most of us here are really good at knowing and supplementing. We may not always, like I'm guilty right now. I have not been good with my supplements. We all know we should be good with our supplements, but yeah, but there are times we all fall off the wagon. But I want you to.
15 minutes left. There's only 15 minutes.
Oh,
left.
15% charge.
15%. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I'll
Okay.
last for days.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say I have the charger if you need it. Yeah, so if you have not been good with your supplements, I've been good at hydrating, just not good at supplements. And you feel like, gosh, I'm not getting the benefit from this like I feel like I was, stop and think about what you changed, because it makes a big difference. Electrolytes are so important, even if you're doing a lot of sweating and you're just adding a little bit of sea salt or, Himalayan salt, different minerals, that will really help with this as well. So I started getting creative with my frequency, and I do try to imprint them sometimes in my supplements. That methylene blue we just got. Yeah, I erased it, and then I just looked at my scan for the day and put in it whatever I felt would be helpful. I love this new cellular restore button on the SEFI Dots. So there's not every area has that new search button. So the quantum reach, the quantum affirmations is another place if you hop over to that. So if you go to the back button right here, and you turn back to the SEFI area, you go to quantum affirmations and hit scan. It's going to tell you once again what your highest and best frequency is for that day or that moment. So I'm going to go ahead and scan Geneva and see what's coming up best for her. And it's immune support. And I do happen to know she's been struggling with not feeling well. So that's very appropriate. So there again, even if you wanted to make a little homeopathic, you could do it out of the vodka and just vodka. No. Like bring it on. Vodka and water, or is it brandy? Is that the other one?
I'm not sure.
I'm brandy, either one.
And then or the sugar pellets, and want to make something you can carry around with you. That's a great one to erase, imprint, and be taking it throughout the day. But also you could continue to emit this throughout the day. It's one of the things that they've explained several times lately that I really liked hearing is this isn't always, to quote cure. I'm going to have you turn volume here. I know it's
Nice.
sometimes it surprises you, but I don't want to. Like, where's your cancel button? It sounds like an SOS thing. That's there you go. So one of the things they were saying the scanning does is preps our bodies to better assimilate what we're putting in it. So when we scan ourselves and put that frequency back in, and he always brings up like an apple, as long as we didn't show a sensitivity to the apple that day, it's just preparing our bodies to take that apple in better.
The nutrients.
The nutrients from the apple. So, think of it as just prepping our bodies to get along better in this world. In saying that, I've seen some pretty incredible things happen in the SEFI area. So I know they say, well, it's not, this or that, but we've all seen some pretty amazing health benefits. And when we were talking about injuries, I was telling them today about, I had a girlfriend in from North Carolina. Well, it was when we had the open house. That's when it was. And we had walked up to the top of CCB's mountain area, the church with a cross on it. And I had put shoes on that I hadn't worn in 2 years because they had a little bit of a heel and my knees had been bad and they're strappy. But I thought, well, I'll just wear them in the church and see how I do. Well, I didn't know she was going to want to hike that mountain, right? So coming down, I twisted my ankle and went under, and I had jeans on, and it was 110 degrees, and went down on that hot cement and actually tore my jeans. And because I had strappy shoes, it just dug into my feet. And we were supposed to go to Scottsdale shopping all day. So I came home right away and put my scanner on this playlist. And if you don't know what a playlist is, I'll show you that. I had built one on the spot for trauma and went along the whole day like I had no good sense. I wasn't in pain. I did fine. And then we had Dr. G look at it, and because I really thought I had cracked a bone or something. He said, no, I don't think you've cracked anything, but I don't even know how you're walking on it. I'm like that. My scanner. So I absolutely have experienced times where it's bolstered my body up in amazing ways. Does anybody else have anything they want to share?
I love it for migraines.
Oh,
When I realize I'm getting a migraine because I get oculars. If I don't have this with me and where I can use it, I am in a panic because I lose my sight. And this thing will stop it within 5 minutes, 2 minutes, or 15 minutes. I may have a little bit of, I know it's there, but I can see and keep running it. And
yeah, so it's fun, and I look forward to having those fun stories, because when you get them, you're like, what? Like in your brain, you're thinking, I'm doing this, but when it works, it's so exciting. It really is. You just almost think, how can this even be?
That's so true.
So this is the second area that has, I keep trying to use this and I unplugged it, thinking it was affecting the recording. And I'm going to go back. And then the third place where we can do a scan is the chakras. And how many of you don't understand what a chakra is in a non-religious way? We don't look at the religious aspect of chakras.
I think you told me once, but I remember. Exactly.
Yeah, so the chakras are the energy patterns that run horizontally, basically through the body. Lauren talked about them being as like the switch, like the control switch for your house, and that the meridians is the wiring. So it's important to get those lined up. I know in Eastern culture, they use it for religious purposes, but that's not really what happens. So when I hit this scanner button, it came up with throat chakra for Geneva. So there again, I can either imprint that on something, I can project it, or I can keep running it.
What's a root chakra?
Root. That's kind of the foundation.
Yeah, number one chakra.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, and when we go into some of our other areas, it'll tell us what each, like the vitals, it'll actually tell us what each chakra does. But
That's true.
yeah, do you have that?
Yeah, I can look that up.
What's the reproductive?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want me to go into one?
Sure. Thank you. And while you're looking that up, I'm just going to go into the final SEFI area. Well, no, we need to go into the homeopathic and all that, don't we? Quantum homeopathic. This is another area that they've really, really changed for the better. So what I like, it used to just be homeopathics, and they only had, I don't know, how many did they have before? 40 or 50, not much.
I think 36.
Oh, 36, and now they have
300 on top of that, I think, somewhere around 300.
So
the whole-
have you ever used homeopathics, Sally, at all? You know,
A
that you
little
can
bit.
buy at Sprouts or whatever. And what homeopathics means is like treats like homeopathic. So what they do is they actually take a frequency, even if you go buy it at Sprouts or wherever, it's the energy of something. It's not the actual substance itself. So they take, let's say, some of them sound like they're for poison. They're, you know, like caustic. And if you've had something kind of contaminate your body, causticum may actually come up for you, and you think, gosh, that doesn't sound right, but like treats like. So they put the actual, it starts with something physical, and they shake it down and shake it down and shake it down and shake it down and shake it down until it's just vibration. So that's actually what is now in our scanners, the vibration. So we can make our own homeopathic, or we can emit the frequency out. And that's been powerful. I would say, you know, I've used herbs forever, but if I want something quick to work, it's a homeopathic. You know, a lot of the children's natural things that you see are actually homeopathics. A lot of the cough syrups are homeopathic. Yeah. Yes. So I just love homeopathics. So what they've done is they've expanded this category. So you can pick from a bazillion homeopathics, and you have to go to this little drop down, which you can't even see on my screen. But if you click in that white box, it'll give you a drop down where you can pick them. But how many of us are well versed in homeopathics? I'm not. So one of the blessings that they just did is they added a symptom category. So you can type in what's wrong with you. Do you see to the far right, everybody? It says by symptom. And you can like pick sore. Well, let me see. Does it have throat? It doesn't have everything. Oh, it's still in homeopathic. Throat. So here's sore throat. So if I click on sore throat, these are the homeopathics that are good for sore throat. So they've now put it in there to make it easy for us. So we don't have to research it. We don't, you know, we had this spreadsheet where we go research it and then go look and see if it was in there. And because there's only 30 something, it wasn't even always in there. And I had that little ABC homeopathic app on my phone, right. All of that. But they've really streamlined it where now we can just pick our symptom and it's going to tell us what's best. And then they took it a step further because you could actually imprint all of these, you could project all of these, but they now have added the scan button for this. And what this is doing is reorganizing those homeopathics that it picked. And it's telling you in order, which is the highest and best for her. Yes. So right now, the belladonna is what's highest and best. And if you know anything about belladonna, that's also supposed to be toxic and deadly. But in the homeopathic form, it's healing. And then the next best one for her is that heparin sulfus. And then it goes to, I can't say these, but whatever. There's the order. I'm like, I'm not even going to try. And so you can just pick the top one. You guys, where I've used this before is if I'm trying to build a custom playlist, and I will get back to that to show you what I mean by that. And I want to put a homeopathic in it, but I don't know what homeopathics. I will actually go to the symptom category, go to like sore throat, scan it to see what the highest is, because in that custom playlist, we can only put 10 frequencies. So I may not want to add 4 or 5 of the homeopathics. And I just see what's my highest homeopathic, and then I add it to my playlist.
Where's the scan? Oh, I see.
Yeah, right there. And it's going to rearrange them for you.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. So the
And
root
then you
chakra,
can do the 2 minutes for that too.
you can. And you can do all of them all at once. You can do them one at a time. There again, you can just pick any one, so.
Oh, I see. So the one that's in green is the one being done.
Right, but if you grouped it together by simultaneous, it would do them all at once.
Like Lauren says, if you don't have time, you group them.
Right. Oh, yeah, because yours came out with how many? 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh, you can't simultaneously.
Mhm. So you might have to stop it. Oh, yeah.
So, but they're not all green.
Yes.
Yeah, but
See, for back pain, it picks 15.
Yeah, and sometimes it'll only give one homeopathic. Some conditions only have 1 or 2. They don't all have a plethora of homeopathic.
I
So
looked at the attention ADD one and it has like a list of 10.
just like ADD. It's like, let me give you 10. That's funny. And then the other thing they've added is cell salts, and I'm hoping we get more information on what cell salts are. They are earth salts, and they all have different benefits, but they haven't given us the symptom list. So if you look, this is some of the cell salts they have, and I think there's only 11 or 12 anyway, right?
There's 12.
12, yeah. And I don't know what they're for,
I don't either. I'm not.
so that's a new educational curve for me.
Well,
But
that's what somebody said that was teaching that one time. But I don't know what they're for.
yeah, I don't know what they're for either. But they have added those, and what they've done, because we have so many in this in Solix now that are professionals. We have doctors and we have veterinarians and we have a lot of professional people doing this now that are educated in this. We have a lot of naturopathic doctors and things. So, you know, they're trying to make it where we can all use it to its highest and best. But in saying that, it doesn't mean we have to. So if you get overloaded, this is what I want you to hear. You can make this as simple as you want or as complicated as you want. You don't have to use it just because it's there. I'm the person that wants to use it because it's there. But not everybody does, you know, so they've given us the easy scan so that we can make it easy. We can dumb it down, and I don't really know if Geneva's been scanned today, but I could be. I haven't asked her. So the cell salts, and
She
then
don't care.
and the no-sodes, what that is a whole nother area that's actually disease tissue, if I think if I'm correct. So they've actually made like homeopathics out of the disease tissue to
Seems
help.
contrary, but that's kind of.
It's back to that like truth, like
That's
what homeopathics is. So that's what that category is. There again, you don't have to use that. You don't have to be an expert at it. But if you are, you want to use that in your practice. You want to be able to optimize this. So,
That's only if you happen to know what they are, right?
right, or you do research. And then I'm going to go back one more, and the brand new area is called SEFI Dots. That's what I've been holding in my hand. So these are the SEFI Dots, and I've seen them selling these in different ways for a lot of money online now, where they're imprinted with frequencies. So they're little holographic dots, and we can pass them around. And they're really fun because you imprint them, but they only last for 72 hours. So when you imprint them with whatever you want, you don't have to just use a SEFI dot area. You can go in and imprint them. They actually suggested putting them on while you're doing your scan and optimizing, and then you have all the frequencies from your scan in there.
And then you put them
Oh,
on your
I didn't
skin.
hear that one.
Mhm.
And it'll tell you where to put them.
Yeah, so when I bring this up, I'm gonna scan Geneva. And when I do, now I've had it not bring something up a few times, so then I just go and pick what I want. It's normally like,
You've had it not bring up something?
I had twice now.
Oh, okay.
What it brought up for her is cellular restore, and that's one of my favorite ones. I put that on even if it doesn't pick it. I build things up. So you put that frequency in these little dots, like I have one on right now. It picked perfect body for me this morning. I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad. And it shows you where to place them because each one has a different placement, optimal placement. So it's the acupressure,
I didn't
acupressure
get,
points.
when I did scan, I didn't get one.
See, I've had that happen. Yeah. So I just pick one. I'm just like, what do I want to pick?
Well, I like Lauren, because sometimes you don't know where you want to put it. And Lauren said, put it below these little wrinkles on the wrist.
Mhm.
He said that was a good place. If you don't know where you put it, that's always a good place.
Well, like the Eternal Youth one, it has you printed all over your face. I'm like, I'm not walking around for
Yeah,
3
with
days
dots on
with a
your
dot on my face.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
just not.
Yeah, because I've had them on somewhere and somebody, what's wrong with you? I think y'all.
Hey,
I
Lisa.
have-
Lisa,
Yes, Ray.
hi, I have a question. I tried a SEFI dot one time and it fell off.
Oh,
Clean your skin.
yeah. They said make sure it's really clean of oils and lotions.
Use Everclear.
Use Everclear. Drink it and use it. No. Yeah, just go back. It should stay unless you have a lot of salt come up in your body or residue, maybe.
Okay, all right, I will try it again.
Try cleaning it and then making sure it's really dry before
Okay,
you put it on. And then just maybe experiment with different areas. Put it in a different area than
Okay.
where you had
because
it.
if I was washing my hands a lot, you know, the one
That-
dot says on the hand, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's the
All right,
one
I'll
that
try
has-
it
that's
somewhere
fallen
else.
off for me too. I
Okay.
lost mine after,
Okay.
you know, and it's like, and I had that plastic
Yeah.
cover on, I mean, the, yeah,
Mhm.
so I think from here on out, I'll use a different place.
Yeah, so I would definitely try it in a different place.
If it has, like a youth eternal has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
All in the face.
Yeah,
You just
so
pick.
you're supposed to use 9 dots? then?
No, that's a good question. It's just giving suggestions of where you can place it.
So how many were you just?
Just
the
one.
Oh, just one?
Mhm.
at a time. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you can pick it, but that's what I'm saying. When you look at that, there it's all over the face, and I'm just not going to put it on my face. I'll bring that one up so everybody can see it. But then you would take your SEFI dots, you would erase it and print them. But don't think you just have to stop with your SEFI dots. You can imprint whatever you want. You know, just this drives further into the body, they said, at a more cellular level, I believe, than the other, like the jewelry and stuff. So it's supposed to drive things in better. I used it for Bob for pain, and it does seem to really help him.
Did it?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it holds
Mhm.
for 72 hours once you imprint.
Right, and you
Yes.
throw them away. Although Kim said
Yes.
she reuses hers.
And she takes it, erases it, and writes it with something.
Yeah, and she cuts hers in half and stuff. But
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what it looks like. Is it just solid? Let's cut one in half and experiment.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
I did with when I was taking off. It's just plastic.
Oh, okay. Just plastic all the way through.
It's silicone.
So did that answer Rayanne for you?
It did, yep, thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
So something like sleep, if you want to make sure you had a good night's sleep, you put on before bed.
Mhm.
Yes.
and Lisa, the flowers too, if you want to cover those.
So you don't-
Oh yeah, we'll look at those.
You can erase
Okay.
it. And you got
So I'm gonna go to perfect body so that,
erase
well, that's not there it is.
and imprint it again.
Oh,
Oh, well, I would,
so you just.
no, it was the
how
youth
deep-
one where it's all
how
over
deep
the
is it?
face. Youth
72
Eternal.
hours.
And I just laugh. I'm like, I'm not gonna walk
It's
around with
after
this on my
72 hours,
face.
no matter how many times you look at it.
Look, they're all on the face. Have you noticed that?
Yes, that's true. There is.
Yeah.
That's what she said. One of the girls says that she cuts them in half and she just reuses them. And that is my question to Solex. Does it have any power in it to reuse it? all?
Yeah, I know. I don't know if you're getting benefit. I guess you'd have to feel it. And then Rayanne asked us to go over the quantum flowers as well. Now it does have a scan. This is the only one that I know of that we can't project out. Like we can't broadcast it. But you can hit scan.
Well, we can't broadcast SEFI Dots either.
True.
everyone a good resource. If you go to Sprouts, they have free brochures about the.
Oh,
wildflowers.
And there
You
was
know
one, Rayanne just put one in our Facebook group, by the
Oh,
way.
did you? Okay.
Yeah, this morning, right,
Yeah.
Ray?
So, here, let me flip around.
So despair is what came up for
Hey, Smarty.
Geneva,
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
and then elm. And so it picks the emotion and it picks the flower for the emotion on what would be best. And then it's, gives feeling overwhelmed, depressed, exhausted. So it gives that information. And then you go down and you erase it and then you imprint it. So you cannot broadcast this. You just would put it into something. I forget what I came up with this morning, but I put it in my coffee.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, and the other thing, Lisa, is I put them in playlists, so I can go up
Yes.
to my playlist and drop them in there. So I don't know
Great
if you
idea.
can, okay.
Great idea. I've actually never done that with the flowers. That's a great
Oh.
idea.
Just put in your copy and print it in?
No, in the playlist.
Mm,
So in other words, find out what it is,
Mhm.
and then you can put it in your playlist.
right.
So Sally, this playlist that we keep talking about is something that you can customize. So you come up here, and I put a bazillion in mine, and we've built some for John and Geneva as well. So I just titled it arthritis, and then you can go down into all of these categories. I'm going to edit it so you can see. You can open them up and you can add up to 10 frequencies from all of these categories into your playlist. And then you can emit them either one at a time, all of them at the same time. You can do it for 2 minutes. You can do it continuous. You can actually imprint them into your jewelry, your orthotics, your, unlimited again, your sugar pellets. So you're actually building a customized, personalized list. And Janet has mine, and there's a lot of things. And then it opens up things that really you don't see in the SEFI. So when you go to build your playlist, and actually even opens up Inner Voice. One of the things I want to say about Inner Voice, though, is it's not customized against your scan. It's just the music. So it's not like when we do the Inner Voice scan and we get the personalized 3-minute pieces of music. You have the tones and you might know what they are, so you can put them in, but it doesn't have those underlying like solfeggio frequencies and things in it.
Right.
And then you can also add some of the things from Quick Scan. So you can really build thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of things in your SEFI, in your customized playlist. So I'm going to save that.
One other thing to consider, I was just to mention, is running simultaneously. They can run all at once. So I've been noticing lately how the ones that aren't compatible will run a second or two behind.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Or they put 0. I've seen them have 0 on there before.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they are running offset one another, so they're not canceling each other out.
Yeah. And so
kind of good.
it
Which is
is. And
really
this
good.
is also where you customize for your animals. So here's one for their little Berkeley that they put in for arthritis and joint pain, where they can run their dog. But if you do that, Berkeley's probably not under Geneva. This is what I was saying. They're actually going to build it where they're like a separate identity. I think Berkeley's under John. So I would do a drop down and it would say John or Berkeley, and I would pick Berkeley and then it would emit towards Berkeley.
Berkeley's the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is what a playlist is. And there's just so much here anymore that it's just crazy. The category, it is mind-boggling.
But at the same time, it's like, wow, they just keep giving us more.
So one of the things also I wanted to talk about, and I think we're all using the Easy Scan, and this is where you're saying it's too hard. Well, they've created this where you literally just hit start scan and it goes through inner voice, through vitals, and through comprehensive without you touching it after that, which is really nice. But the inner voice, is everybody aware that there's two kinds of inner voice now that you can do? There's the microphone, and then there's the microphone plus the heart. So just the microphone is the original one that scanned us, told us our emotional state that we're out of balance, and gave us pieces of music. The microphone plus the heart now scans it against the vitals. So that's the one that gives us a report that gives us, we still get our tones and we still get our emotions, but we also get suggestions and we get areas that are out of balance or things that might be affecting it or things that might be out of balance when that area of our brain is out of balance. So it gives us a lot of really good information when we do that. When you do the easy scan, it automatically does the microphone heart one.
Right.
So, so there are options, and I have some clients that I just run inner voice for them. The inner voice is what this system was actually built on. It's our emotions are at the crux of everything. If we're, we can be doing all the supplements, all the vitamins, all the meditation, all the balancing stuff in the world. And if we have our brain, our emotions out of whack, it tilts it. Like you might get there at a struggle and it just tilts it right back again. So the inner voice, originally, that's all they were going to do with this scan was inner voice. So it's imperative to do that and to listen to those tones all the time. But I have clients that would freak out if I gave them the one that's the microphone plus the heart, because they would start owning everything that comes up. Oh, I have this. Oh, it says I have that. It's absolutely not diagnostic. It's not saying you have any of that, but these are the components that can be cascading down into those areas if we don't get that back in balance.
Is that based on chakras then?
This is not
That inner voice is not based on
No.
chakras.
No. Yeah, so I have one client that I do that I only do the emotional state with her because it resonates. She knows it's true, and it's just the one that makes sense. And she lives in another state, and I don't want her calling me panicking all the time.
Right.
So it's a powerful tool. If you can do nothing more for your clients than to get them to do an inner voice, you've done millions for them, because it's such a powerful tool. They have to do the work. They have to listen to it.
They do. I think I've told most of you about that little boy that he was living with his parents having a domestic violence situation, and he was in the midst of that kind of environment. And then when his grandmother had custody of him and she started playing his inner voice, well, he wouldn't wear wear the headset or earbuds. She would just play it for him morning and night. And he just stopped his meltdowns. He stopped his tempers, everything that was, because for a while he was raging and all of that. But slowly his little personality started, two personalities started emerging, despite all that trauma.
Well, that was like, was it the testimonial they gave 2 weeks ago? Oh, that one just made me cry. About that little boy, and was it cerebral palsy? What did he have?
You know what? I
can't remember what he had, but they started running him, like he would go into just tantrums, and they would do some of the SEFI and inner voice and stuff, and he started calming right down, but he passed away. And so I'm like, can't really listen to that one. But they were saying how much more life it gave to him and them to enjoy him. Oh, I won't. Anyway, boom on that one. So, that this gives special times, and, we all have our time and our place to leave this earth. So it may not save us from that, but it can make life a whole lot better while we're here. The other thing I wanted to say about inner voice is sometimes things will come up, emotional states. They just don't seem like they belong to you. So I always ask, who do you know? Is there somebody you're around all the time that this might belong to? And without fail, they come up with it, you know, my coworker or my spouse or my kids or, you know, whatever. Now they still need to own it because it's still impacting them and they still need to balance their brain out. But, you know, sometimes it'd be anger, rage, and it belongs to somebody else. But we are a connected world. That spooky from afar quantum entanglement, that's what they're talking about. You know, we cannot disconnect from each other. You know, when our spouses come in the door sad or hurt or angry or even happy, we feel it. It affects us, and we don't, nor would we want to separate ourselves from that. You know, we are all entangled in that way. So so much for you, Einstein spooky from afar.
It's just like with the biofeedback. I was running a client one time and it kept showing cancer. But it just kept going. And for a couple of sessions, you know, I kind of, and finally got down to it as we were talking. His best friend was dying of cancer.
Yeah.
And he was holding it. He was on it. He was- So we carry all these emotions about people we love and care for as if they're our own sometimes. And it affects our health just like it's our. And one of the best stories I have too is this mental irritability. I call it brain on fire. First got this. I went to one of my business groups and one of my girlfriends, I said, Sharpie, you have a guinea pig? And sure. And we ran her. Her back was really hurting her something terrible. And her nerves were frayed. And it was just, she was just, I ran it for pain and I ran the mental irritability. And by the time she walked out, she was fine. And she will call me now. She says, I need my brain on fire and my back run.
Yeah, so there's so much, you know, we can go over in the scanner, but I also would like to go into the back office a little bit because we do have so many places that we can get information now. And I think a lot of times we forget to go into our back office.
Before I forget, I have brochures too.
Oh, yes,
I've got
there.
some.
Yes. I'm trying to get to my back office. I'm like, I have to move this again. I had brought that back office up, but you know how that goes. Sometimes it's up and, oh, here it is, settings. Oh no, that's that setting. Well, I've got to go find my back office again here. It's in Chrome. Right here. Sorry, Ray, I'm trying to get over there. You'll have to let me know if you can't see it. Is it screen sharing on my back office now or?
It's still the scanner.
Okay. So let me go here to the back office. Okay. How about now?
Yep, got it.
Oh, got it. Good.
I can see it. Yeah.
Yay. Okay. So in our back office.
Laura won some SEFI Dots.
Oh, Laura, we went to Utah with Laura. Oh, that's fun. So, oh, it's so funny. I heard that name and I was like, that name sounds familiar. That's what. So right here in a back office, we have this tool section. And in that tool section, we have documents and media. And then we have all kinds of guides and things. I would love for everybody to like go into those and read them, particularly the product resources. So here's the price sheets, AO scan technology, Bright. Under this all, they just put some cheat sheet cards for the SEFI Dots, which is nice. And here, SEFI Dots description. So that we can understand further what some of these categories are. Here, I'm gonna keep moving all this stuff around. So let me hit view. Oh, now that I minimized it, I can see Rayanne. So, you know, it tells us with each category, like what allergy defenses for arthritis, cellular restorer, etc. So you can go in and you can look at what that's for. But almost every product we have now, I think just about every product, they have information in that back office. So, you know, we don't necessarily have to memorize stuff. I think that's what people get into. They think, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Solex has done a really great job of making it where we don't have to memorize. We can just pull out our resources and our tools. That's not to say that we eventually won't memorize it, but we can. And then I wanted to ask, kind of off topic, but back to the scanner. How many of you have given an Alpha 3 pass to somebody, and who'd like to explain what it is? No, nobody?
Have you shared one? Okay,
Shared a couple.
I haven't never shared one yet.
Oh, yeah. So an Alpha 3 pass is, it's a 72-hour pass that we can give somebody, you know, if they're interested in the scanner and they want to try it, and they can actually use literally every feature in the scanner for 72 hours. And it's really good.
On their phone? Or how
Well,
do
they
use it?
can. So there's kind of the downside. They could use it on their computer. They can use it on their cell phone. The problem, I want to say on the cell phone, is if a phone call comes in or something happens, it's going to disrupt the scan, which is why we have a separate device that's also made specifically for the scanner. So some things may not run as smoothly, but they will definitely get a full idea of what this is and how they can use it in those 72 hours. Plus, they've created YouTubes and videos. Because when it first came out, I used to think, oh my gosh, we're going to spend as much time training them for 3 days, you know, as we would for a brand new person under us. But they've created a lot of videos and stuff for the basics.
Right, like a 1 to 2 minute video that you can send a person so they can get to know really quickly.
Yeah, and it's really nice. So it's a great feature to know. You can buy them. They do contests. They did a contest a while back, not a contest, a YouTube thing where anybody that made any comment, they gave a package to, you know. And then they had another time frame where they were promoting, which I got into that if you signed up somebody, they got a 6-pack and you got a 6-pack. So, you know, they do try to give them to you because they know it's helpful, and you know, that person can get around and display and scan and decide whether they really think they like the technology or not.
So Lisa, can you off the computer print that
You can.
so that you can have it in 3D?
Absolutely.
Just reprint.
Yeah.
Any of that stuff in the back office.
Yeah, and it's really nice
Okay.
that you can print that. Now, the back office for the people that aren't quantum, yeah. Well, there's 2 kinds of memberships. You joined with the 49-cent one, so you've got the back office like we do. But you guys have a little bit different. I'd actually need to get into your back office. I don't know how they look different
That's true.
because I think you just joined as a member instead of a quantum advocate.
Right.
So the back offices are a little different. You pay the $49 to get, you know, your website to get some of this stuff. So I really don't know. We'll look at yours and see. Yeah, those are some of the areas I have no idea. The other thing I found out, if you guys are not getting emails, and I found that out through my in-laws, that they weren't giving notifications for them for like the weekly
Oh.
calls and things.
I never did.
Mm.
Yeah, and they said they normally don't do that unless they're quantum.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think that's probably not wise on their part.
Right, because I
No,
think it
it's
would
not.
be better to invite everyone,
Yeah.
whether they're preferred customer or not, or maybe, you know, I mean, just so that you can be able to have access to
And the
same
education,
information,
it's there for
education, yeah,
everybody.
Right.
So I thought we got that resolved for you. Did it
I
stop?
get the only email I get from a particular.
Oh.
Wow, okay.
Hmm.
I may need to call them again and say I want all my people to get the emails.
Hey, Lisa, can you tell me again where this SEFI dot description is at?
I certainly can. I just
Okay,
have to move things around on my
uh-huh,
thing here. So when you go into the back office,
right,
you're going to go into tools
correct,
and then documents and media.
okay,
And then from there, you hit the all button.
okay,
And then you go down and you're going to find SEFI Dots description.
oh, there we go, okay, thank you, I
Yeah.
found it,
You're
okay, thank you,
welcome.
thank you.
Yeah. And there, if you look, there's a lot of different areas there that have the information.
Mhm, okay,
Have we done anything in regards to COVID?
I built COVID playlist. I have, if you go to the playlist area and then the drop down, I've certainly built things for that and to get taste back and things.
On these ones they have, or on this, I don't know, this could be just Rita's playlist, but there's playlists for COVID.
Yeah, each of us build our own,
Oh,
but we share them a lot. So if one person builds one, we'll share the information. We'll do a
Take a
screenshot.
second to get it going. I see yours does that under custom playlist at first sometimes. It doesn't open.
Yeah, so, but Rayanne, I'm sure you built a custom playlist when you were sick, but you still lingered for a while, huh?
for COVID, yes.
Yeah.
But the thing that I have found, because the system has, it just seems to be very powerful, and balancing, now I just scan myself every day and optimize, and the changes I've seen when I just am doing those individual scans that we do, and I create my playlist from that for the day. And unless I've got something else going on that I want to work on, I just do the scans, and my body's getting stronger. I'm not having as many issues.
Nice.
They're resolving all them. I'm not like as allergic. I'm stronger, my immune system. And so it's just, I think the key is just to balance ourselves every day. It's amazing. And I don't know, I'm not doing anything special except taking care of my mind mostly.
Good.
So yeah, working a lot on my brain, and
I think, yeah,
it's
that's
all well.
That's-
Things are going good.
good. No, that's good to hear. And the other thing we were talking about with Janet, and I think a lot of us have started putting our supplements in, where we can scan ourselves every day, or even several times a day, and see what our optimal supplements are for the day. Some people don't do that. They just go by their regiment. But I have absolutely learned that I do better, I feel better, when I scan myself for my highest and best supplements for the day. Just like our sensitivities might change some every day, our supplement needs might change some.
And I think the Ionics Gold is really key, because I've been doing that almost every day and have good results. So
Yeah. Are you just doing it in water or?
in water, and then and I'm doing like a double shot, so I don't know, but it really is, I think that's part of, it's key.
Yeah, because we're so nutrient deficient. You know, our food is nutrient deficient, our ground is nutrient
Our water's
deficient, our
deficient.
water, yes. Yeah, so it makes sense that we might really need way more minerals than we think we might ever need, because you can be eating the healthiest diet in the world, and either if you're not assimilating it properly, you know, where you can get it on that cellular level, you know, we just need that support. So yes, and that, you know, when you were saying about scanning yourself every day, that's also, there's different theories with that as well. Some people feel like that's too much. I just think we're all so unique that we have to listen to our bodies and what works for us. I don't think there's a cut and dry answer for that, because if you're really sensitive to frequency, every day might just completely devastate you. But
Yeah, and I don't do every day. I mean, I'm sorry I said that, but yeah, I mean,
Oh,
but
no,
when I do run myself, yeah, and it's when I feel like I need it. It's like, I'll go a couple days, I'm fine, and it's like, okay, I got to go back and do a scan then today.
right,
What part did I miss about this day?
right, exactly. And the other thing that I like now that they've added all the expanded food sensitivities, I'm going to change screens again, is that we can scan just for specific sensitivities. So let me go here, and then I'll have to bring it up here. So we can actually go to vitals, and we can uncheck. Do you see, does everybody see in the vitals, if you go to that, there's a deselect all button, and you can just check the food sensitivity and only scan that. I am gonna, don't tell her I scanned her. I'm gonna scan her for that. So we now have hundreds of food sensitivities. When I ran you, Sally, I think we only had 30 or so. There's now hundreds. So, you know, we can actually look at that. I'm like, I have this recorded as I'm saying, don't tell her I did
You
this.
know, actually, I got thinking, as I'm doing this, whenever we're scanning, you know, we gotta make sure that we don't have other things that are gonna interfere with frequency, right?
Oh, like like our cell phones and
Yeah,
stuff.
cell phones or something else.
Yes.
And then, I remember when you told me not to cross our legs because it could do a cross current,
Mm-hmm.
and so.
Well, how far away did you put yourself in?
Well,
That's okay.
I mean, kind of the further the better.
Just so it doesn't interfere with the other frequency.
Dan,
Yeah.
can I give you a call back?
So that's also
Okay,
where shielding ourselves, you know, clear and shield is
Yeah.
helpful, because we can do that. So if I just want to look I don't want to run myself every day, but I just want to know what my food sensitivities are, I can do that. So if you look, you know, on the right hand side is what the first scan was, and the left hand side is where she optimized, which, gosh, that's looking pretty good. Like, wait, look at all that green.
Wow, that's
Key
great.
lime. So stay away from key lime and raspberries. Gosh, yeah, she balanced really well. Oh, soybean and chicken. And then I don't know, we're into seafood. I ignore seafood. And I'm not saying I really ignore seafood, I just don't eat it. Nuts, macadamia nuts, seeds are good. So if you really want to pay attention to your body, cayenne pepper, and eat every day by what this is telling you, that's a great thing to do. So you may not have time to do everything. How long did this take me? Under a minute to scan and optimize. So, you know, you can do that. And that's probably a time where I might, if I forgot to do it and I left home, I might bring the app up on my phone, and do a quick scan and optimize to see what I can eat.
I know, I do that practically every day too.
Yeah. So it's really nice that we can do that. You know, so I don't keep in a closed box over the scanner. You know, get creative because there's so many ways you can use it, and kind of go back to just because it's all there doesn't mean you have to use it all. You know, do your favorite things. I kind of tend to overdo too much, I think, because I love it all.
Yeah.
Like I know I want to do it all every day.
I know, and then an hour later, it's like, oh, I'm gonna do something else. No, it doesn't take that long to do everything. It's just
Yeah.
how far down the hole do you want to go, you know?
Mhm.
How far?
Yeah.
But it can't hurt anything, it's just kind of time consuming. right?
You could kind of what I call tilt yourself. You could give yourself a little detox or something where maybe you didn't feel good, or like Rhiannon being sensitive to frequency. You know, she could put herself kind of in a fatigued, upside down, not as much now as it used to be. But yeah, if you have a real sensitive person, you could tilt them. It's not going to quote harm them, but you can make them feel not very good for a while.
I had a friend that had this EDS, is that right? The Ehlers.
Oh, Ehlers-Danlos. My
Yes,
niece has
yes.
that.
And I was thinking, oh, this will help her so much. Well, she could feel those frequencies going through her, and afterwards she had a headache. But that was when we were doing the full comprehensive. That was right at the beginning when I got the advice. I ran all these, and she could really feel it, and it kind of set her back a little bit.
Mhm.
And so it was like, and then I kind of put it away for about a week because I was like, I don't know why, but
You
it
felt
affects-
responsible.
Yes,
Yeah.
felt responsible, and it was like, and so it's something where, yeah, and so I now know that it's actually better if we don't run the full comprehensive, you know, but maybe once or twice a year, you know,
Mhm.
so just to,
And I've never run the full comprehensive on myself.
oh, never,
Never.
yeah.
I guess I should. But, you know, like for you, Sally, with the eyes, we could dig down further into the eyes. One of the things you know, we can do is custom scan. One of the things I can't do because I'm on John and Geneva's device, but I took the extra training. So I have a whole nother database on my device that you'll see it on your scanner, but it doesn't unlock. I may try to log into mine so that I can show that because it's really cool.
It's cool.
So I'm going to log out and sign into mine.
Gotta take that training.
And it may not work. I may have to log out of that one, but we'll see. Let's give it a try. Well, it seemed to do it. So I just need to pull. I actually had a John Doe in here at some point. I'll pull myself up. So what's nice is with this new database, the new database is under the comprehensive tab. And I'm trying to remember if I scanned myself today. So when I open it up, everything that it picked as being out of balance, it has 13 categories that it's scanning against. So it's saying, I've got to move this. I can't see what it's saying under it. I feel like there's not a right place for that. So this is blood cells is what it picked. And under the bacteria category, there's 0 hits. That means there's nothing affecting my blood cells in that area. There's no heavy metals affecting it. There's no insect bites. There's one virus, which is the rhinovirus. It says it's a low cause, which means that it's a low sluggish frequency. It doesn't mean it's affecting it at a low, you know, that it's barely affecting it. It means it's sluggish, it's chronic. So on the scale of 5, so we have a scale of 1 to 9. 5 green is optimal. Anything to the right of that, so it starts 5 green is 0. So like a number 9 is 100%, and on the low end, like a number 1 is 100%. So this is saying it's 86%. So it's probably like a 2 on the numerical scale.
Mm-hmm.
And it says it's been around for 4 years, affecting me in that area. Oh no, that says spider. What am I looking at? Oh, I went to a different category. Sorry, insect bites. Spiders, low cause, 86%, 4 years. And then it went to viruses, rhinovirus, low cause. Oh, same thing, 86%, 4 years. What happened 4 years ago? Who's still living with you? Like, wait a minute.
That sounded like an accusation.
Like, what happened? Truly, what happened 4 years ago?
Well, that would have been 2018, right?
Yeah.
You still with me.
Yeah, I have to think about that. And then is showing parasites. This is a gingivitis parasite, which I always have dental stuff. There again, low cause, 86%. 4 years. Like that 4 years is what that means is that frequency has been going around in my brain out of balance for that many years. And boy, that's got me going, wow, I got to research 2018. No brain spine connection, no miasm. What a miasm is, it's inherited. You see a lot of things like syphilis, gonorrhea, which means it's been down the family line for a long time. No hormones, but look at my emotions. Good Lord. 10 hits, 10 hits. 5. So when it says 5 years, that means it's been 5 years or longer. It can actually go back to in vitro that has been bouncing around. So disappointment, shyness, jealousy, communication conflict. Those were all 5 and 4 years. Self-esteem, 2 years. Serenity, 1 year. Now these are starting to go on the high end, some of them. Emotional tension, integrity, conflict, and fear. Well, isn't that interesting? Fear is like right in COVID time, right? So on the emotional, this is why I keep saying, if you do nothing more than concentrate on your inner voice, that is huge. So this database can actually lead you to further information. Here's mold, fungus. And like anything, you're looking for things you see all the time. You're not just looking for one hit and do I see it in this one category? Where am I seeing mold and fungus in my other scans constantly? Where am I seeing some of these emotional states? You know, what are the patterns that I'm seeing over and over and over? That's what I'm looking for. You know, the penicillin, here chemicals, ammonia and glycerol. And then it goes into food sensitivities, nothing, at least with the cells, is affecting it. And toxicities, it goes into 2. So it's really fun to be able to use this database because I'm going to move this around again and keep moving everything around because I can go into all these categories that it brought up for me and look at each and every one and, you know, spend the time seeing what might be a pattern that I need to look at. So that's what the new database opens up, which is really cool. Yeah, you guys, I'm an emotional mess. So on that note, I mean, we can go through products. If anybody has any questions, we can kind of wrap it up if you want. We've been going at it an hour and a half, but I'd be more than glad for Q&As. I know Janet's going to be leaving soon. Anybody have any questions?
Well, that information,
Uh-huh.
you said goes, if you do the comprehensive scan, correct?
Right, but you
But it's
have
the
to take the
training.
training to open up
Oh,
that database.
Okay.
Yeah. So they
Kahlua,
unlock it.
is like Kahlua scan on your phone?
Oh, yeah.
So Kahlua, just rehearse a little bit. There's some people in the room that haven't probably heard that testimony.
Oh, yeah. We literally thought Kahlua was going to die a year plus ago. He was limping. He was listless. Dr. G even worked on him. You know, we didn't think he was going to make it. And then we got this collar for him and started scanning him. He's 15 and a half now. He's like a whole nother dog. He's
Yeah,
playful, he
completely
comes
different.
out. I mean, Mary and Jerry have been around him, they know.
There's times he would never come out if anybody was in the house that he didn't know. The immediate family, yes. But the minute somebody outside of the immediate family came in, he was gone under the bed.
Look at
He
you,
would
right
not
out.
come out.
Yeah, he's a whole different dog since running this scanner. So he does still have his moments. He'll start coughing and, you know, so
guess that he's 15
and a half, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he, I know, baby.
He's almost blind and almost deaf.
Yeah, but he
He
can
knows
smell,
food
he knows
making.
food. But there are times where I feel like he's got a little heart issue and it does show up when I run him. So I've told this story to the group before, but he was just doing this coughing. So I just have a playlist for the heart. And I decided to run it for 2 minutes. And he had no idea I was doing this for him. And he's laying there. And the minute literally that 2 minutes was up, he hops up on his feet, he shakes himself out, and away he goes. You know, he had no clue. That's why I love working with children and animals, because you don't have to convince them.
They have no preconceived.
Yeah, so that's really fun, and I can show you. He's under Bob, so I'll bring that. Because Bob was his original owner, so it made sense to put him under Bob. Or Robert, as it's put in my scanner. So there's this area here that you can add objects, you can add your supplements, you can add animals. You know, it's really a fun place. But so in the SEFI right here, I drop down to Kahlua. And even when I run him, I can run him today. I have a little Kahlua custom playlist. And I have one for the heart, which is what I ran for him. And I just run him for 2 minutes and, you know, and I did, if you look, I did add homeopathics. Those were before the way we have it now. I had to look up certain homeopathics, but his original, my husband's wife that passed, that was his mama. And so he was, you know, experiencing a lot of grief, and plus his little sibling. Oh, sorry, Ray. Oh, sorry. Wow. So his original, his emotional state, and those homeopathics are specific for loss of owner or loss of another pet. And I think that was a big, powerful part of what helped him out. I really do. So, so that's how you do the animals right now, but it'll be changing.
How do you do an easy scan on the dog?
You don't do the easy scan. The only thing.
Since you have to bark in it.
Here, I'm gonna stop it. I can only do vitals, but let me scan real quick because it's kind of fun to look at a dog, and then I scan down to him. What frustrates me is he comes up looking better than me sometimes. Like,
And I ran my sister-in-law's little dog because she had called me. They were concerned because they had lost their other dog. And they were both rescue dogs. So you don't even know what trauma they had before. And he had completely quit.
Oh.
And I just happened to be talking to her, and she was talking about it, and we were talking something. And so I ran my dog. And that night he started eating, and he came out from under where he'd been staying ever since.
could you hear that, Rayanne?
Wow.
And that was in Texas.
I don't know if you could
Yes,
hear
I'm
what
good.
Mom was saying.
Yes, I can. Yes,
Okay.
it's good.
In the little description, if you don't have a collar, is it?
We put their dog tag.
Yeah, you can put their dog tag, or you can put their date of birth.
Okay.
I put the date of birth, guessed at it because it's rescue. And but I did put his rabies tag.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm gonna
Have you done anything
optimize.
to it with your dogs? Because-
This is the first I've known of this.
Oh, okay, because it'd be interesting with Dr.
Yeah.
G, because he
Oh.
walked him and, you know, he
Oh,
was,
yeah.
yeah.
And with your mood, that'd be good.
Oh.
We do some grief.
Yeah. And I've heard a lot of people have posted like on Facebook and stuff when their animals are stressed out over thunderstorms, etc. They'll do a
Fireworks.
playlist.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
fireworks.
and then it really calms them down. So this will just take about another minute and then I'll show you his report. But they do get little tones. They do get a little mini playlist. They only get 3 and it's based off of their skin, obviously not their part. But and you can't put a headset, you just set it down. He's drawn to it even though he can't hear, I think he can feel the vibration. So he'll normally come over and sit near me when I play it. He really likes the frequencies.
Yes, we're talking about you. Yeah.
He said it's my food time. It is almost 4.
So that dog collar, that's through Solex?
Yeah, you guys
Mhm.
had one or had
Oh, I don't know.
have or had.
It's in that box that's over in.
I don't know. I don't know.
And of course, now we've got the 2 different ways of looking at the reports as well. One that's got more detail and one that's got less, but this is what, oops, sorry, I went too far. So if you look, here's his little frequencies. So I can play those. I've turned it way down, so I don't know if you can hear it. I'm not hearing it on here. That's okay. Oh, there. So there's Kalua's frequencies, and then it goes into categories. The one thing I did notice is that they took away the food sensitivity. So I'm wondering if that's because they're going to add them back when they do the full animal scan. Because that was one of the things I was going to start working with Chris even, was scanning dogs and their food sensitivities for what foods they should and shouldn't be eating. Well, that took that little thing out the window. I can't do that now. Chris from Peoria, he owns a holistic. But look how good Kahlua balances. I mean, he looks better than me. But here's the little dog chakras. They do. And well, look at that little balancer. He's so green. But it tells what each one's for, and it's a little bit different than the human chakras. So it does get into that, but darn, he's looking good. He's gonna live to be 100. I keep telling Bob that. Like, he's gonna outlive us. You know, look, his digestion, if you look at his pancreas, his blood sugar, which kind of stays the amino acids. So there is a product from Solex that you sprinkle on their dog food. I haven't gotten it yet, but that needs to be in my next order. I told Bob that. I'm like, that dog needs to be 100.
I just placed.
Here's the digestive enzymes looking good. Let's see, micro minerals are a little bit one out. I mean, look at that. I'm telling you, he looks better than me. It's his vitamins, look, that are so out of whack. So I need to get that. His cardiovascular, it's true.
Yes, he is. It's almost 4 o'clock and she's not feeding.
You know, his immune system is a little taxed right now. Kidney function. So, you know, you start looking at patterns of these as well, but this is what the dog animal one is like. Okay. And I haven't run a cat yet. I don't know. I'm sure the little kitty chakra is fun too.
We haven't changed with cats.
That's true. My son would strangle me if I ran his cats. That's it, unless anybody has any questions. Oh, the bathroom. Yeah, go to the left and look on the right. So, all right. Good. Yeah, we're good. Well, I'm going to wrap it up then. Thank you, Ray.
Well, this worked out really good. I felt like I was right there. Thank you.
Oh, I should stop the music so we can all hear each other. Oh, there. It just stopped. Yay. All right.
Okay,
Well,
see ya.
see ya.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, girl. And all of that. And